What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. What a day of tennis. A lot of storylines, a lot of upsets. Let's get it started. Teenage sensation Coco Gauff upsets number 3 seeded in last year's champion of the Australian Open, Naomi Osaka. 6-3. 6-4, straight sets victory. As you know, these two met up last year in the third round of the U.S. Open, and Naomi Osaka blew her off the court. Blew her off the court with a power game, and I thought the occasion got to Coco Gauff, and she wasn't ready for prime time, as they say. And Naomi Osaka, put on a beautiful display of dominance, and she had a lot of winners in that matchup, and she was able to display her whole arsenal in defeating the teenage prodigy in Coco Gauff. But Coco Gauff was able to turn that around today. Was able to turn that around, man, and she was able to match the power game of Osaka. Osaka had a lot of unforced errors. I think Osaka went into this matchup thinking it was going to be the same way as it was last year at the U.S. Open. Sometimes when you dominate an opponent with that much ease and that much dominance, you think it's going to be the same way. But you got to understand, man, Coco Gauff, she's a once-in-a-generation type of player, I believe. I think it's just a matter of time before she beats number one women's player in the world. And it's just a matter of time. She went to the lab and worked on her game, got more consistent. This time she was ready for the occasion, for the big occasion. And she actually studied Naomi Osaka, and she was able to run down a lot of balls in that matchup, man, and made Osaka go for more winners, and that forced Osaka to have a lot of unforced errors as she was really off her game, man. The service game wasn't on point, and she's one of the better servers in the game too, and she's got a real good first serve, but due to the Coco Gauff return game, it put a lot of pressure on her first serve, and she was going to a second serve a lot of times, and she had a hard time getting over her first serve. But unforced errors was what really did Osaka in, and Coco Gauff played an unbelievable match, man. Probably the best match she played against a top player since the first round matchup against Venus Williams last year in the Women's Open, where she played an unbelievable match in that matchup. I thought she was on par with that matchup, and I thought she was a little bit better overall because she was more consistent with her shots, and she was able to, overwhelm Osaka, man. Like I said, make her go for more winners, and that ultimately ended up being her downfall. So great win for Coco Gauff. She's on to the next round, the fourth round, and it's gonna be interesting to see how it plays out, man. She's really done real good, man. For somebody just 15 years old to when she first went to Wimbledon, she got to the round of 16 in that last year. And she got to the third round of the U.S. Open, and now here she is again in the fourth round. So her first 3 majors, she's going beyond the second round in all 3 majors. So that just lets you know, man, that at 15 years old, man, she's got the total potential to be the number 1 player in the women's game. She's got to stay focused and stay consistent, and just get rid of those dips in her game. She has times where she tries, I think, go for it too much and tries a little bit too hard. I thought that hurt her in the second round matchup, and she instead of kind of playing what's going on in the game, if your opponent is kind of shaky right now and they're messing up, your job at that point is just to play the game and make her play her shots and make her feel the pressure. Don't go for winners and maybe let her off the hook. I think she kind of does that in previous matchups. When you see your opponent struggling, your job is to get the ball in play and start the rally and see if they'll self-destruct. If she gets that part of her game, which will come with experience, get that part of her game going, she's gonna be unbelievable, man. Because she right now, to me, she's a top 10 player right now. As we speak today, she's probably a top 10 player. So that was just a great win for her. Now let's go to the men's side of the bracket here. The men's draw. Roger Federer, 23-time Grand Slam winner, beats Pat Millman. As you know, Pat Millman beat him at the U.S. Open. I think it was the 2018 U.S. Open. In an unbelievable upset, Pat Millman beat Roger Federer. I don't know if it was the third round or the fourth. I know it was a night match, and I watched that matchup, and he played unbelievable in that matchup. I thought Roger went into that matchup and didn't know exactly who Pat Millman was. I'm not saying Roger took it from granted, but Roger wasn't laser focused like he usually is when he's playing at the U.S. Open, man. And he got burnt in that game. And the movement and the athleticism and the tenacity of John Millman got to Roger Federer at the U.S. Open, and he succumbed and got beaten in a huge upset in 2018. Now this time, Roger Federer went into that matchup with his antennas open. He was ready for John Millman because he knew what happened 2 years ago, and John Millman still gave him all he could handle and then some. A 5-set thriller, a back and forth matchup. As John Millman came out and let everybody know that, hey, it wasn't no fluke in 2018 as he won the first set 6-4, and then Roger Federer came back and won the next 2 sets 7-6, 6-4. And then he came back and leveled it off at 2 sets apiece at 6-4. And then we had the ultimate 5th set tiebreaker, 7-6. And he wins at 10-8 in a 7-6 tiebreaker in the 5th set. A 4-hour match, a great matchup, a great back-and-forth battle. Roger Federer had to lay it all on the line here. The forehand, backhand, his forehand got kind of erratic at times, but he was able to hit the winners at the right time. He guessed on that last shot at 9-8 in a tiebreaker, as it seemed like Millman had control of the rally, and he hit a great forehand cross-court to win the game 10-8 after being down 8-4 in the 5th set tiebreaker. Unbelievable matchup for Roger Federer, man. A lot of people thought he was gone at that matchup. 8-4, Millman had all the momentum. Had the Australian crowd going crazy, going nuts in the stands. And it seemed like Roger Federer was going to get beat by this guy once again early in a major tournament. Roger Federer, brought in all his experience, brought in all his wisdom, his tenacity, his grit, and won 6 straight points to go from an 8-4 deficit to win it 10-8, 7-6 in the 5th set tiebreaker. Roger Federer, the greatest of all time, the GOAT, was able to beat that beat. Pat Millman, the guy that, if he would have beat Roger Federer, the naysayers would have said, well, Pat Millman got his number. Roger Federer is 38 years old. His father time is catching up with him. You would have heard all the naysayers came out if he would have lost to Pat Millman, but he was able to rally and show his greatness once again and win a 5th set tiebreaker. A great matchup, great day of tennis at the Australian Open. Hopefully we'll see some more great tennis in the 4th round in the second week of the Australian Open, the quarters, the semis, and the finals. Hopefully we get this type of tennis from here on out, man. But it was just a great matchup with two great players and potential great players showing their stuff in Roger Federer, again, all-time great, the GOAT of tennis, and the teenage prodigy, Coco Gauff, beats Naomi Osaka, showing that she's got a lot of growth that she has undertaken since the arriving on the scene last year at the Wimbledon championships and defeating 7-time Grand Slam winner and on her favorite surface, Venus Williams. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires. As you know, the great one on the women's side, Serena Williams, lost to Wang Qiang. I did a video over there yesterday, man. Broke that video down. So it was just a great night of tennis, man. Great day of tennis. And we'll see what happens in these next rounds as we're getting down to the nitty-gritty as we approach the second week of the first Grand Slam of 2020. We'll see what happens. We'll see what transpires. But salute to the great Roger Federer. Salute to the great Roger Federer. And salute to the teenage sensation, the teenage prodigy, Coco Gauff. Leave your comments in the comment section if you think Roger Federer, after this marathon matchup, has what it takes to get to the finals or get to the semis, because he's on a collision course to face Djokovic, who's looking real strong in the first 3 rounds. Does he have enough to get his 21st Grand Slam? Let me know in the comment section. And also let me know if you think Coco Gauff has what it takes to win her first Grand Slam. As it's going to be interesting to see. You still got Barty out there, hometown favorite, looking to win her first major. You still got Kvitova still out there, and you still got a lot of top-notch players out there. And we'll see what happens. Osaka, I think she's still out there, very consistent player. So we'll see what happens, man. Madison Keys got upset too, man, in the 3rd round matchup, and she had a lot of unforced errors. She's going to have to learn how to add a finesse game to a power game. She's a sink-or-swim type of player. If she's not hitting winners off the power game and she's hitting unforced errors, she doesn't have a plan B. If plan A ain't working, she's she's in trouble. She's going to lose that matchup. Man, she's got to understand that if your power game ain't working, you got to start taking stuff off your shots, placing your shots better, setting up your shots better, setting up your winners. You can't just be hit 2 or 3 shots and then go for your winners and hope that's going to take you through time after time after time. You got to add the finesse to your power game. So hopefully Madison Keys, with a little bit more experience, learn that trait and get better and get a more versatility to her game. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I holla.